Good morning, good morning, good morning. Saying I'm live, so I hope that I am. I just wanted to hop on real quick before I start my morning. I pray that your morning's gotten off to an amazing start. Of the seed, the apology of the seed. We all understand what a seed does, and we all understand that there's a process that a seed needs to go through before it's manifested into what it needs to be, what it's supposed to be, should I say. And oftentimes, when we are due an apology or when we need to give an apology, we don't allow the time that is needed for that apology to take root. We don't allow the processing time. When we apologize, we want things immediately to go back how it used to be without allowing the time that it is needed. The apology is the starting process. The apology is the seed being planted on the heart of an individual. And oftentimes we want that seed to produce the harvest before going through the process, and it just doesn't work that way. And when our expectation of that seed, of the harvest of that seed, is not coming forth, not springing forth in a timely manner in our time, we get frustrated. Not only do we get frustrated, we minimize, we belittle, we tear down, we destroy that seed, that apology. It's just like a farmer going out and he's harvesting, he's planting his seed of corn, of whatever it may be, and just because you see just a little sprout of the corn coming up, it didn't come up the next day. It didn't harvest the next day. You go out and you just destroy the seed that you planted. And oftentimes that's what we do. When that apology doesn't look or feel how we think, if we don't see the harvest the next day, if not the same day, we begin to talk against, we begin to destroy, we begin to uproot that seed of an apology. If only we had just been patient enough and allow that seed of apology to take root, then and only then would you see the manifestation of that apology. When a person gives an apology, you're not going to see the fruit that same day. You may not even see the fruit of that apology the next day. You may not even see it a week after, but you have to give it time. Sometimes a person not even expecting the apology, and once you give them the apology, they processing it. So what we don't want to do, we don't want to abort an apology. We don't want to uproot or tear down or destroy a apology. Allow that apology to go through the necessary process that it needs to go through, so you can see the manifestation of that apology. And I wrote down a few things. Time. Give it time. You go out and you plant a seed. Don't expect a harvest the next day. If you apologize to someone one day, don't expect to go out to have coffee with them the next day. And that doesn't mean that they didn't receive your apology, and it doesn't mean that your apology wasn't real. But again, allow that time. Strength of that relationship, it needs to be it needs to be strengthened again. What used to be there, you need to give it time to come back to what it used to be. So it's all about timing. Be patient. Be patient with that person that you apologize to. or if that person had to apologize to you, be patient and just allow it, because you want it to be strengthened, and to be able to withhold different things because it's going to be tested. When the apology, when you get an apology or you give an apology, it's going to be tested. So, and it's just like anything. It's got to go through a refining. It's got to go through some reproving. It's going to go through those things. Those are processes. So allow the process of your apology to be tested. Have patience. Be patient. Don't rush it. Don't get in a hurry. But again, our expectation from an apology, we expect too much too soon. And that's the problem. And when you don't allow something to just be what it is and just allow it to grow how it needs to grow, and you go out and you go to pouring too much water on it, now you're going to kill it. And you're just doing too much. So what I am learning, what God is teaching me, that even if someone apologizes, give it time. Be patient. There's no reason to get in no hurry. Don't start uprooting it. Don't start destroying it. Because if the apology was real, if you receive the apology, there's going to be a manifestation of that apology. But you have to be patient. Don't rush it. Again, allow it to go through the process that it needs to go through. Don't, some people say, well, if the apology was real, we would have done this by now. If the apology was real, we would have done that by now. Again, if the apology is real, give it the time that it needs to grow. We can't put a time stamp on someone apologizing. We got to allow that thing to grow. We got to allow that thing to be strengthened. We got to allow that apology to be tested. And I also wrote down some fruits, some benefits of when you apologize. Apologize, it makes you brave. It's brave to apologize. It's humility when you apologize. It's growth when you apologize. It's maturity when you apologize. It's benefits when you apologize. Another one is when you forgive. That makes you strong. When you're able to let go, when you're able to forgive, when you're able to allow that person, it's hard to hold people at a certain standard, and you feel like you got them on such a standard that you feel like that they can't make a mistake and they won't do anything wrong. You setting yourself up for failure, because we all fall short. We all going to make mistakes. We all going to make bad decisions at some point on this journey. And we got to learn to forgive people. And when you learn to forgive, it makes you strong. It shows your strength. It shows that you are allowing another person to be human. You giving them room to make mistakes. And when you forget, it makes you happy. When you're able to just let it go. When you're able to just put it in the sea of forgiveness. When you're able to just put it on the back burner. You're able to live a much happy and freer life. So that's what we want to do this morning. That's what the Lord was dealing with me on this morning. Just dropping different things in my spirit. And I wanted to come on and just share it with you all. The seed of an apology. We have to give that seed chance to go through the process, the necessary process that it needs to manifest what it needs to manifest. And we need to be patient. We need to be patient. We shouldn't expect too much. And just give it a chance to do what it needs to do. And like I said, don't worry about it. If you have apologized to somebody and you feel like they didn't receive it, don't worry yourself over that. You've done your part. You've done what God told you to do. The rest is up to them and the Father. You dust your feet off and you go on. You know, you make it right, and that's all you can do. And so with that being said, again, this was just something short and sweet. But I think a lot of time we get frustrated when we apologize, or if we receive an apology, and if it doesn't look a certain way, if it don't feel a certain way, if it don't yield a certain harvest that we think it should harvest, that we start to tear it down, we start to destroy it, and now the apology don't mean anything. Why? Because you didn't allow the time it needed to be what it needs to be. So that's something to think about. If you've had to apologize and you feel like that it wasn't received, you feel like it wasn't heartfelt, just give it time. It's possibly still going through the process. So you don't want to abort it too soon. You don't want it to destroy it. Just give it the necessary time that it needs. You'll be glad that you did. So with that being said, I pray that everyone have an amazing day. Don't allow no negativity. Don't you be negative. Just enjoy your day the best way that the Lord allows you to enjoy your day. And remember, if it's someone, somebody, it don't make a difference who it is. If you feel like that you've done something wrong, that you said something wrong, that you acted in such a way, apologize. Apologize. Because the Bible said if you don't forgive, you won't be forgiven. And you got to also receive. Because if you don't receive that an apology, you still won't be acting right towards the person. So you have to forgive. We have to learn how to forgive. And some things people can do that is so hurtful you feel like that you can't forgive. But that's because you have attached the offense to the individual. And the Bible said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So we got to charge it to the spirit in which they're operating, under. And I understand that's hard, because sometimes you want to charge the person themselves. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, Lord, now listen, I seen the face of the individual, but, he don't want us to do that. Lord Jesus, help us. But yeah, that, sometimes we just need God to help us, because, people can do some things that is hurtful. And we feel like we can never forgive them, but the Bible said we have to. So that, it just ain't no way around it. We don't get to pick and choose who we want to forgive. And, we have to forgive, period, point blank. But I'm going to hop off here. Again, I pray everyone have an amazing day. And like I said, just, if it's something you need to get right, get it right and move on, so you can live the happy, free life that God has predestined for you to live. Don't allow the enemy to cause you to walk around bitter and frustrated and angry and nasty attitude because you don't want to forgive someone, or you feel like someone gave you an apology and it wasn't real. It's not worth going to hell over. Think about that fire. But I'm going to get off of here. I thank the Lord for everyone that hopped on, that hung in there with me, and those that came on and had to go. I thank God for you. I pray that you have an amazing day. God bless you. First Lady Rogers, thank God for you. My TT, she's always showing up. Good morning to you. And Mr. Brooks, thank God for you. Thank you all for hopping on, and those that have come on after. Remember, apology is a requirement. Forgiving is a requirement. We have to do it. There's no way around it. No way around it. And so until next time, everyone be blessed. Not only be blessed, but be free in Jesus' name.